So you've created an online course or a membership, you've sold some memberships to prospects, ideal clients and ideal customers. What you need to do is give them a place to log in to your platform, correct? So here we go. What we've got is the member login registration widget. If we drag that across to our page right here, and what you can see is we've actually created a email and password login form for people to actually register for your account. Log in or register for your account. Now there's a couple of options you need to know straight in. If this is a login where you don't want people to register, you can actually just turn off enable registrations. What that does is just give you the login form with a login button text. And then you can either get them to go, or it will automatically default to the actual membership page that you've set up when they actually log in, or the course page you've set up when they log in, or you can actually get them to go to a custom page right after actually filling out the form. So as it says here, by default members will be redirected to the page set in their membership group or to their profile page. Enable this option to show them a different page or arbitrary page instead. And here you can just click on the link, choose any page you actually want, and then enable registrations. What that does is allow somebody that hasn't yet logged in or is not a member of that group to actually register to become part of the group. Now if we actually use the actual form here, we can say default view would be login or register, so we can change that to a register. Okay, so the first page is actually now a register. They've actually got to give a name, an email address and add a password to register to be part of this membership. This is actually a great way for them to become part of a free membership you offer with, you know, maybe some low-level content or some free stuff that you give away, but you want them to actually log in to get access to the free content, which means anybody can register. You want them to be able to do that, so you can actually create a registration page with this form ready to go. The login button text, obviously it's set as login. The registration button text is submit. So you get that option. And again, option number one, login, don't have an account yet, register, etc. Let me show you that real quick. Click on save. We've created this form. We will click on preview. What will happen is, here's the login where they're supposed to put in their name and their email address. If you click on register, it will ask them for a name, email address, password, and the really cool thing, the capture form to make sure it's not a robot that registers. Once they've registered, they just click on submit. Don't worry about the styling now. We'll get to that in just a minute. Now, go back to the form. If you want to edit again, click on edit, enable login, enable registrations, and then the default view of whatever's going to show up first when they come to this form. Now, what we've got then after that is to actually use the default group or create a new group for these members to be a part of. Now when you first set this up, you may have decided to create the form before you created the membership. So what you'll need to do is create my new group. Okay, this is your group that you're going to actually put them in, or they can just become basic members, and anybody who joins your site becomes a member in whatever you're doing there. In the contact section, there's a way to set up memberships. That's in another recording. We're not going to go into that now, but whatever membership you want these members to be a part of to get access to their free content, you get to choose it on here. The members need to be a member of a group to get access to whatever they're logging into. Doesn't matter whether it's a course or a membership with content. Next thing to do is whether you connect them to email marketing when they register. They can actually add a new list here for call it membership, call it free membership, or you can add them to the default list that's built into the system, and then you can add additional registration fields. So maybe on the registration side of it, you've got the name, the email address and the password. You can actually add another field, for example, country. Okay, and what that will do is add country to that list of fields. So if we actually go to the actual registration view, what you can see now here is a country box. And if we click on that, the country is pre-populated. So here's your list, okay? Alphabetical order, so if everybody's going to be in the United States, they're going to have a lot of scrolling to do, but you can actually see how that would come in handy for when you're actually doing the form. And that's where you add the additional registration fields. If you don't like it, you can actually remove it and add any fields that you actually want to the form. So that's the settings for your form on how you actually want it to act when people come to this form to actually use it. Then you have the styling. The styling works the same as it does on the forms and the buttons and everything else. We have the labels and field styling, where you can change the label color, the field's background color, the field's text color, the font size, make it smaller or larger, round the boxes or not round the boxes, and the font family. And then we have the button style, which you can actually change to your style in your account, for example. Change it to a different style. You can change the padding size, which adds spacing around on the bottom. Let's move this over here, you can see it. And change the text size, so make it bigger so it actually stands out. Bold it. You can actually spread the letters out a little bit if it looks a bit cramped. And then you can add a shadow to the box. All of these we've talked about in the other settings for buttons. It's exactly the same type of button. It's just connected to a form asking them to do something. So if you want to check out the widget for the buttons, and it will tell you all about customizing your button as you go through this widget. Again, use this for getting access to courses, use it for getting access to membership areas that you create. Any more questions about the login and registration widget, feel free to send me an email at support@contentforcoaches.help. See you soon.